Hello and welcome to the Ebbenflow podcast, episode 11. My name is Ben, and this is a solo episode. I like doing the guest thing, but I figured, throw in a solo episode here. And then, continue on. Well, guests, solo, just all one ebb and flow. This episode is going to be about starting a business because I started my own business. Well, if you haven't, well, there you go. I just told you. So my business is called Ebbenflow, just like the podcast, and it's got the same logo and everything. And yeah, this idea of starting a business really came to me in April. Actually, I think I can pin it down to the day, April 17th, which was 2 days after I started my fully remote job. So, whole other topic about the benefits of remote work. But, an immediate benefit is the free time that you get with not having the commute anymore. So yeah, I had a lot more free time like immediately, and I think I was like laying in bed and was just like, ooh, yeah, this business thing, and I really like socks, and that'd probably be a good place to start. I like socks, and I've been hearing about organic cotton for a while, organic cotton clothing as opposed to polyester. Have an episode on natural versus synthetic fibers. As well as that entrepreneurial, like, I am the most free when I own my business and when I'm not working for someone else. When I'm working for myself and I'm my own boss, that is like ultimate freedom. And I was never really interested in entrepreneurship in my life because I feel like entrepreneurship, that spirit of wanting to do things for you, is kind of snuffed out in school. I think going through the schooling system, it kind of dulls the human spirit. And things that make you, like the unique individual that you are just, decreased, diminished in school because you're all, everyone is like put in the same spot and you're taught judgment and comparison to others. And I certainly went through that process, and I just was going along the path of, you go to school, you go to high school, go to college, study hard in college, get a full-time professional job, and that's it. That's, just work that, and you'll be good for the rest of your life. And I was certainly in that mentality, and I was working towards it, all the time I was in school. And I finally got out of school and I went into the workforce, and I've been in the professional corporate environment for almost 5 years. And before I started my job, if you asked me, well, have you thought, are you going to do this for the rest of your life? When I started my job, and back then I would say, I don't know. I'm not sure. This job seems like it's a pretty good gig for just graduating, but I don't know. And now I kind of know a little bit more. I know more about corporate and what it's like to be a business professional. And I just never, only recently came into this entrepreneur mentality, because it's really like an expression of freedom, like I was saying earlier. So I guess like we can get a little bit into the story, because first of all, a lot of people like hold a limiting belief that you can't own a business, but I had that too, but now I do. So the first thing I did really was incorporate an LLC. Why did I incorporate an LLC? Because in the eyes of business and corporate, it makes what you're doing sound professional and serious. You know, you're committed to this thing. So, yep, I incorporated my LLC in Wyoming because it's a 0% income tax state, and then I applied for my EIN, which is a employee identification number that my business gets, and then I opened up a bank account. That was a whole process. I went in person to a bank and talked to a banker and got that opened. And in terms of the socks, like I have no idea anything about making socks and like putting my logo on them and then selling them. Like nothing. But I do have a really cool friend. His name is Joe, and I met Joe in high school. We went on a little religious retreat together because we went to a Catholic high school. And that's how I met him. And followed him on Twitter back in high school and kind of just been, seeing tweets from him here and there. And I found out a couple of years ago or something that, well, he's kind of like taking on like a nomadic lifestyle, and he's actually driving the Pan American Highway from Alaska to Argentina. And I think that's one of the coolest things ever. And so I actually met up with him last year to do like a cacao ceremony and Reiki and yoga, I believe. And when I went on his profile in April, when I started my business, maybe it was a little bit before I incorporated the LLC, but he had this link in his bio that was like, if you have a product idea, DM me or send me, fill out this form. So I filled out the form. I also DM'd him. I was like, hey, I would like to sell organic cotton socks. And he responded very quickly and was like, I mean, I know other people that are trying to do this. I have connections to factories, and let's get this going. So yeah, I've been working with him to try to find a good supplier of cotton for my socks, and I don't know how long it's going to take until I get my socks going, but it's all very exciting, and it's kind of my path out of this controlled environment that we've been conditioned to grow up in. I see people on YouTube doing their entrepreneurial thing, starting their own businesses, and it's really awesome to see. Some examples: Dualistic Unity. They started their own business, and they're doing very well. They have an investor. They have investors for gonna start a advertising campaign with their business soon. Soul Bra is very inspiring to me in the sense that he just like lives his life and he like monetizes it. Like he makes all these travel vlogs, where he's going all around the world, and he's filming himself doing cool things, and he's drinking raw milk with his friends, and he's doing these workouts in the sun, going for ocean swims and jungle hikes, and it's so fucking cool. And like I would like to do some stuff like that as well. I recently vlogged myself going disc golfing, actually, and that was fun. I had a lot of fun doing that because I didn't want it to be polished or anything. I just wanted to get some angles of me throwing the disc around and film myself on the way to the disc golf course, talking a little bit to the camera. And then, I learned that you could get iMovie on your iPhone. So I had all these iPhone videos for me taking clips and pieced it together in like 40 minutes, the whole video, trimmed and did the transitions, and turned out to be a pretty nice product. I liked the end result, posted it to YouTube, and it has like 30 something views, I think, right now. Maybe not 30, but close to it, if that. And it's like doing well. I post stuff that I post on YouTube on my Instagram, because I think if I were to just post it on YouTube, like, I don't want to get much views. Like, not that I'm going for views, but I think it's cool to put yourself out there and like see what happens. So putting myself out there, like I'm posting stories and making posts every time I post a vlog or a new podcast episode, and it's pretty cool to see me doing this. My most recent vlog was I was like 12 when I was recording myself, and I was like, this just turned 2010. I'm 12 years old, and I'm like, my childhood is over, and it's time for big decisions, like high school and college, which are like, yeah, they were huge decisions from the perspective of 12-year-old me, but now I'm 27, and I don't really see like a difference between big and little decisions anymore in life. I just see decisions, and making them big or small is just the weight that I'm giving that decision. So like starting a business, that was a decision. I could have said no. I could have been like, that just sounds like a lot. Sounds like a lot to do, to take care of. I already work a full-time job. Why would I do that? And then the rebuttal is, why not? Why not? What else am I gonna do here? Like, I could, when I'm done my full-time job, just go to the gym, or I don't know, go on a run, and then come back, eat dinner, watch some YouTube, and then fall asleep. And not to say that I don't do that, I still do that. But I will sprinkle in some time now. Like, I consider this like what I'm doing now, like quote unquote business activities, because I guess you could say I'm promoting my business through my podcast. Like, my podcast is one of the platforms to start building my brand, Ebbenflow. So yeah, they're all, is it a decision, or is it just the inevitable next moment in my experience? I always get tripped up on like the illusion of choice. Because it's like you can see different forks in the road ahead of you, but from this perspective, you can only take one. But because I am God, that I am eternal, I take all paths at once, all the time. I just have the perspective of taking one path, because if I were to take all paths at the same time, I couldn't experience a path. Like, it would just be like, imagine taking 1,000,000 paths at once. How could you possibly take anything in if you're in that perspective? It's like you need to have the perspective of the individual in order to see a path for like its fullness and completeness. And they were talking, Dualistic Unity was talking a little bit about how death, mortality creates priority. And I really enjoyed that perspective, because the meat suit that I embody doesn't last forever. It's like it's gonna die. So with that, it's like, well, how am I going to spend my time in this meat suit? Because if I was eternal in this form, like, I mean, sure, I'd be able to do a lot of things, but wouldn't I? Maybe I think I would get bored of being in this body eventually, because it's like, damn, like I've been doing this shit for an eternity. You know, we toss around the word eternity like it's, yeah, man, it's forever, it's infinity. But like, bro, eternity is insane if you actually think about it. It's unimaginable. You literally can't imagine eternity, because you can go back as far as you can, and there's still going to be a moment before that moment that you thought was the first moment. And you can go ahead, you can go straight forward as far as you can into the conceptual future and think of the last moment that could ever possibly be. And there's still going to be a moment after that moment. So you can't go backwards or forwards. The only place you can go is right here. That's where the depth of reality is found. It's like, I don't know, people think it's going to be somewhere in the future. There's some answer in the future that's going to like solve everything, that will like solve the problem of consciousness. Like, why are we having a conscious experience? As if that can be answered in a place that is only real in our minds. Like, there is no future. It's just now. If it were to be the future, what would you call that? Now? You would call the future now, because that's always the case. So I think it's pretty cool that we have mortality, that we can die, because it would probably get pretty boring if we never died. But also there's nothing to worry about, because you're everyone else. So when you die, you're going to be too busy being everyone else to notice. And that's really trippy to think about, especially if you're holding on to the idea of you. But yeah, it's been a fun journey, starting my own business. It's been actually, I think 2 months to the day that I like came up with the idea, and holy shit, I've done a lot. I started my website, that I just finished that recently, and you know, there's going to be life coaching options available if you're interested, or if you know someone that could, you know, use someone to talk to. Obviously it's a paid thing, because it's part of my business, and yeah, I'm pretty like, I want to say fulfilled. You know, if I had the business or not, I'd be content with what it is. The business is just an expression of what I am right now. And that's not to say like it's a smooth ride. Like I come up, I confront so many fears every day about the business, and the only thing I can do is keep going, keep breathing. The only way the business survives is if I survive. So survive. And kind of, you know, you can surviving, saying that sounds like it's scared, like there's some sort of scarcity to life, like, oh my god, I just gotta claw my way through. But no, it's also abundant. You know, there's unlimited everything. I have unlimited time. And you know, that sounds paradoxical, you know, like I have unlimited time, even though I just said that I'm grateful for my mortality. The perspectives I'm taking are different in each of those sentences. And you're allowed to be taking different perspectives moment to moment, because you can perceive yourself however you so choose in any moment, because you have that ability, because you are existence. Existence has the ability to perceive itself in any way, shape, or form. And that's God. That's reality. The potential for every possible moment between the observer and the observer it exists here now. And if you don't see it that way, then you're limiting yourself onto how much you can see and how much you can do. Yeah, I might keep this one short. So that was me rambling on about my business that I started for about 2 months. I'll link my website down below. You can check out the website, and I have other platforms you can follow me on, and it would be nice if you like engaged with my content. And I kind of refrain from saying that in previous episodes, because part of me is like, I'm not doing this for anybody. Like, I'm just doing it for me. But the other part of me is like, I mean, if I want to try to grow, I can try to do that. You know, I can say like, subscribe. You know, I'm not gonna lose any sleep over it if you don't subscribe, or if you don't follow me on any other platform. Like, I don't care, really. I mean, you're being you. That's kind of like the best thing you can do for my business, is just be yourself. Do whatever's in your best interest, because that's the case for everyone. All right, I'm gonna shut up now. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.